The question we got in the headline here is the question I'll ask you next, John, and we'll go around the board to everybody in the panel here. So after Hangman Adam Page defeated Jon Moxley in a Texas death match to win the AEW World Title to close All In Texas, was Hangman's redemption arc better than Cody Rhodes finishing his story in WWE? And
Wow.
overall for you, John, where does All In Texas rank in regards to the best AEW pay per views of all time?
You know, some part of my heart, I guess it's always gonna hold on to All Out 2021. Like
Yeah,
it was special to me in a
I don't
different
think
way.
anything can pass that. Like that was like lightning in a bottle. It's
Yeah,
CM Punk's first match in 9 years. It's Bryan and Adam Cole in the greatest ending to a pay per view ever, and then it's all the great matches like Bucks and Lucha Bros in a steel cage. You got
yep.
Kenny and Christian. Like there was so many great matches. Eddie Kingston and Miro had a great
That
opener that not a lot of people remember from that card. Like yeah.
that steel cage, I love that match. By the way, I feel like I've never forgotten it. Like the Kingston Miro match, it was what I remember. It setting the tone. Like, holy shit, what is the show about to be? The thing about All Out 2021, and let me say for sure, there's other AEW shows that I think have surpassed it on the quality level. Like if on a technical quality level, there have been AEW shows where it was like, how was every single match on this card fucking 4 to 5 stars? But All Out 2021 was like, we just came out the pandemic. I had just gone to like I had just gone to Dynamite after the pandemic. It was like real. I was like, holy shit, it's bad. It's good to be back outside. And then they hit that home run right at the right moment where it felt like, okay, this AEW place is going to be all right, man. We're going to be okay. This is awesome. They got Bryan Danielson. That's for me. He's the greatest wrestler in the world. That fucking moment where he comes out of that tunnel is always good.
Yeah.
It's going to be the greatest
Because it's the double whammy. We
Yeah.
expected one. We expected one. We didn't
Yeah.
expect both of them back to
No.
back. Like there's nothing like that feeling of euphoria that I had watching that show the first time. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it, and I don't think that anything can pass it.
I will say though, there's moments that have come real close. Bryan Danielson winning the world championship, I think is.
I was live for that. That's like my number
like,
two. That's honestly my
like
number
all the way
two.
up there. And then
I was crying, John.
Yeah.
I was third row. I was behind Bree and the kids. I was crying. It was a spiritual moment.
It's so, but the thing about that moment is like I was already in the bag. Like Bryan Danielson is my favorite wrestler in fucking history. Like I think he's the greatest wrestler to ever live. Like I will objectively debate against someone that he is the greatest. So when he won that world championship, it was like, fuck, it was a different kind of personal feeling. This Hangman match, this was like manufactured. They created this storyline. Like they built this. This is artificial. I am entirely hooked into the story of Hangman Adam Page. There's no like meta real life aspect to it. I just like this guy, this Adam Page character. I don't know dick shit about Steven, whoever he is in real life. I just really, really like this story. So in that aspect, like that's one of the greatest things they've ever done. And you can't take from that. They created that feeling inside of me, almost the same feeling I had for Bryan Danielson. I almost had, like, holy shit, that was comparable. What the fuck was that? So yeah, that's special. My kid, I think he had his I like to call it his it's out of date now, but his Eddie Benoit Mania 20 hug in the ring moment. I think that's what he just had with Hangman. I was like, his reaction to Hangman's win was like, holy shit. I'm like living vicariously through him. Like he just had his story finish. I think seeing him react to this versus seeing him react to Cody, and he went through both. He went through both storylines all the way through. I think I gotta go with the Hangman thing. I watched that. Light up a child's heart.
Well, you kind of been through something similar, Krssi, because you were there at WrestleMania 40 with the wrestling club and got to see how much Cody finishing his story meant to them. So for you, what do you think is better? Is it Cody's finishing his story, or is it the Hangman redemption arc?
I don't know. Like they're so good. Like I guess for children wise, I think it would be Cody. But I think for like adults like us, because we're like, we've seen it and we know more than them. They just know like nostalgia and like the good guy to win. But like all the shit that Hangman had to go through to get to this point. I would put, as far as like us adults, I would say Hangman. But for children, they would definitely say Cody for sure.
Yeah, I think Hangman, he kind of resonates more. All things what John said for his kid, Hangman, he related to that, and that was a huge moment for him. But I think that Hangman overall resonates better with adults, because he's one of the best layered and written babyface characters that I've ever seen in professional wrestling.
Correct.
A babyface that's gone through substance abuse, through anxiety, through depression, through PTSD. He had to deal with his family being stalked and
he burned somebody's house down.
He burned somebody's house down. He went to the depths of burning somebody's house down, trying to murder them in a steel cage.
Yep.
Then he took away the career of his mentor and one of his best friends, all to come back just 8 months later and to redeem himself to the fans, to regain the trust of the fans, the love and adoration of the fans, of the locker room, and then win in the main event and free them from the death grip of the Death Riders. Like John said, I think that story-wise, this was written better than Cody finishing his story, because I felt like the peak for Cody finishing his story, I think that it would have been just as good if he won it at WrestleMania 39 than him winning at WrestleMania 40. For me, I thought WrestleMania 40, it was worth it all because of him losing at WrestleMania 39 and how it all came together. And it was exactly how a lot of us thought it would come together, except for why The Undertaker was there. I thought like the run-ins and everything, this one made more sense than WrestleMania 40. The run-ins in WrestleMania. Why are you here, Undertaker? Why?
They couldn't get Austin. That's funny. That match will forever. That Undertaker moment will forever entertain me, because it is built so perfectly for Stone Cold. The glass never hits. It's fucking great. One thing about that main event, that deathmatch main event, that makes me smile is how it was so fucking violent. Like that was it was so violent, but also led to like the happiest fucking moment they've ever had in this company. People fucking talk shit about this deathmatch thing so much. That building had almost 30,000 people, and they all lost their minds watching a man get lynched. That's not like they talked so much shit about
a skinhead got hung.
Like
a skinhead got hung.
And it was one of the feel-good moments of the year. Like that says something about this blood and guts wrestling that Vince swore wasn't gonna work. Look at this. Look at the biggest moment in the history of that company. It was a dude getting stabbed in the head with a fork. This is incredible. I mean, people get mad when I say it, I guess. But I love this fucking company. I'm so glad they exist. Could you imagine having to have spent that weekend and all you got to see was fucking Goldberg? I'm sorry. It's crazy. I mean, travel is fun as fuck, bro. Look at this shit.
Whoever put those Saturday main event tickets, like, you should have kept your money. I'm sorry.
I mean, I guess, what the thing about WWE shows is that you get, sometimes you just be happy to be there for a moment. Like, oh man, I got to see Goldberg retire. Try not to think about the show. Now you gotta fell asleep earlier in the night. I got to see Goldberg retire. I was waiting for that anyway. That's almost enough.
Stop lying to yourself.
He's talking about this mythical WWE
who
went to this show.
Got it. Okay.
I can't imagine buying tickets to go to Saturday Night Main Event and then being disappointed that I had to miss like the death match. Like, I'm sitting here. This is bullshit. But again, I've noticed there's just a lot more WWE fans. So I'm glad to be a little punk rock in the reverse direction. I guess this shit genuinely makes me feel good. It's not like I'm just propping it up against WWE. It's just my heart, man. I love this place. God, I'm so thankful. I'm gonna fucking hug that little weirdo Tony Khan one day. I swear to God, I am.
I'm gonna hug him like he hugged Okada.
I'm
gonna hug him like he hugged Okada. Josh, what about you? You're Cody. You're a big Cody fan, but you're also a big AEW fan. So what was better? Was it Hangman's AEW redemption arc or Cody finishing his story in WWE?
I think it was Hangman, and the big factor of that is because The Rock wasn't involved.
You
And
know
what
what?
I mean,
Okay.
and what I mean by that,
Your foot up
and,
the Rock's neck,
you know,
son. You gonna
and
keep
what I
your
mean,
foot up Dwayne's neck, son.
nah,
I
fuck
guess
that.
It's
Nah,
my
fuck
sons,
that.
Goldberg and Dustin. Okay, fuck
Nah,
it. Yeah.
nah,
No, you know, fair.
nah, fuck that.
Do
He
your thing,
deserves
son.
it.
No,
He
yeah,
fucking
no, you're
deserves
right.
it. He deserves it, and that's why James is gonna call his ass out. Anyway, in regards to that, because when we had the lead up to WrestleMania, right? We could all agree that it was a great build up, right? It was entertaining. It was a great build up. The biggest problem for me was that it felt like Roman Reigns was so like third wheel in regards to that, and I thought in Roman's case he should have been treated a lot better for somebody who was a champion for 1,300 days. But then also, are we gonna forget that shit was a pivot? Because originally it was supposed to be The Rock and Roman because The Rock wanted that moment for himself. So it's one of those things where like it ended up working out. Like we got what we wanted, right? Cody ended up winning. It was a great moment. But in hindsight, we almost didn't have it because Dwayne wanted it for himself. And that's why I said Dwayne was a factor because of that.
This is true. This is very true.
I liked Dwayne in that story. I thought
Dwayne saved the story.
Yeah.
Imagine they did because them choosing to have Roman go over Cody at 39 had nothing to do with Dwayne. Now imagine WrestleMania 40 without Dwayne. I'm sorry, it's not as big as what it was, and it's not as big as 39. It became bigger because of Dwayne being there. So I disagree with that. I think that Dwayne helped with that finishing the story feel as big as it did.
Yeah, I mean, in comparison, I'm talking about like when it comes to like when you're saying like what was better, Hangman or Cody. I'm picking the Hangman storyline because of what we ended up getting. It wasn't over-colluded. Like, we got what we got. And then also, it felt like Hangman was important. Like, it felt like he mattered. In regards to, again, when it to the build-up, like I said, it was a great build-up. Entertaining. But how many times did Cody fucking felt like little bro, even compared to The Rock? You know, it was just one of those things where if you're telling me which one was better, I'm picking the Hangman storyline. And I love Cody. So this has nothing to do with, I'm picking Cody because I love Cody. I'm calling it like it is because even that shit he said last week was a whole bunch of bullshit. I love Cody, but you know, when I gotta call out the bullshit, I'll call out the bullshit no matter what.
I do think it's crazy they weren't gonna run that back. Like Cody was just gonna lose at WrestleMania. They were just gonna do Roman and The Rock the next year. Like, there was never any part two. Like, we just were gonna book it. We just pinned his ass. We moved on. What you thought?
Remember, he won the Royal Rumble. He won the Royal Rumble, and he was like, "I'm gonna take that title, but not at Mania." And I was like, "Wait, what the fuck? Like,
Next
this
time,
is what we're doing? Like, this is what we're doing? Like, no, fuck that."
I will say though, the idea that they pivoted, I think as I've gotten older, you know, I always appreciate the long-term storytelling, but sometimes, you know, if the pivot works, the pivot works. You know, Bryan Danielson, WrestleMania 30, biggest wrestling pivot they've ever done, and it's probably the last time I cared about a moment in WWE like that. And from Hangman Adam Page, this was a fucking pivot. Tony Khan didn't
this
know
was a pivot too.
He didn't know how he was gonna bring this shit to an end, which is crazy to me. But then I was like, you know, one of the greatest stories of all time is called Dragon Ball Z, and that guy never knew what the fuck he was gonna do next. He just created that shit on the fly. And if he could get, if that ended up becoming legendary the way it is, then I think we can forgive the pivot if it pivoted in the right direction, especially in pro wrestling. It's such a weird industry.
you have to kind of listen to the fans, and the fans kind of dictate where things are going to go. And I'm glad it got us here. We do have a couple of super chat donations here. We got from Nikki Boy. Thank you so much for the support. He said, again, it's like she never left. Laughing emoji. Never change, Krssi. Never change. 2 heart, black heart emojis. I think he sent that for your Dustin Rhodes rant.
It was a feel good moment, damn. They needed that.
Did they? I know you lying to yourself. See, I was gonna be quiet.
I wasn't in the building. I didn't need it as much as they did.
They didn't need that. I promise you, they didn't give a shit about none of that. I promise you. If it wasn't even on the card, they wouldn't have worried about it. I promise you. If the match got cut off, they'd be like, okay, next one. I promise you, they would have been all right.
I felt dead inside. I saw someone told me, someone was like, "Oh, you're thieving the joy." I was like, maybe I'm dead inside. I don't care. I don't want to see a 56-year-old have 3 titles. 3 titles.
I thought Kyle Fletcher would have popped the crowd anyway. Like I know he's a heel. Like I don't want the heel to win after we just had a fucking morning segment. But yeah. I thought the AEW crowd would have been excited for Kyle Fletcher. It is AEW, you know.
Because they like Kyle Fletcher. They are behind Kyle Fletcher. Not.
You know what though?
On the out, I don't know what to say.
Looking on the outside of it, a lot of people that don't watch AEW were like really happy for that moment. Like one of that Dustin Rhodes post like that I made on the page while doing the live coverage was like one of the most popular ones of the night. And I was like, look at that. It's fucking 15,000 people liking this shit. Okay.
People love Dustin Rhodes because they haven't watched the last 5-6 years of AEW. They keep on Dick Jackson saying, "John, my dog, Dragon is the GOAT." Yes. You will not hear any argument from anyone here. The American Dragon is the GOAT. We also got Dion Jenkins with a super chat donation. Thank you so much. He says Hangman's story was better because he had an arc. Cody's was good when The Rock got involved, but the interconnectivity in the Hangman story was great. Yeah, because like you can even there's probably a WWE fan out there that would be like, well, the Moxley run was only 10 months, so it's only a 10-month storyline. This was like this was the culmination of a 4-year title run. But no, you're not looking at, we're asking about the Hangman story. The Hangman redemption arc starts from the moment Swerve Strickland interrupts him in August of 2023. In September of 2023, when he interrupts him, that changed the course of Hangman's entire career. Hangman basically coming off the heels of losing the AEW World Championship, he kind of had to take a back seat for a while. He was punished. He got punished. Basically. He got punished for that promo, go home promo against Punk, where he was pushed to the back. He was in the trios final with Dark Order and got to do some stuff with the Elite, but then he was pushed to the background yet again. They brought him a little bit up after he gets his concussion against Moxley, and then he has the Moxley feud at the beginning of 2023, but that was just a parlay into the Elite reunion, and then he got lost in Elite business for a couple of months there, and it's not until Swerve comes out and be like, you haven't even changed your clothes. What happened to you? What happened? I'm going to use you to become the first ever African-American AEW World Champion. And the 2-year odyssey from there to what happened at All In Texas, that is the whole Hangman redemption arc. It's the Swerve feud into him going to his descent and becoming this crazed person who didn't even want to do 5 more minutes with Swerve because he didn't want Swerve to come close to the AEW World Championship, who became a heel, burned down his house, tried to murder him in a steel cage, and then everything he went through. And really, I think that more people need to give credit, and I think I saw Evo of WrestleParis bring this up, and I agree with them. One of the bigger pivots of this year is not even Hangman being the one to finish the story. It's going from MJF versus Jeff Jarrett to MJF versus Hangman. That was the big pivot. That changed everything. That changed everything on his course. That should be viewed as one of the most important rivalries of 2025 because that changed the course for Hangman's coming to here. What happened at All In.
I think when Tony Khan did that interview last week where he mentioned how recently he's taken the book back, like kind of the way he did in 2020, where he's just like eliminated all the outside factors. I want to say that was the moment It was MJF Jeff Jarrett. And he was like, you know what? You motherfuckers talked me into this shit. You told me it was a good idea. I'm throwing this away right now, and I don't want to hear shit about it. Jeff, get out of here. It was you. It was you. I know it was you. This motherfucker, Tony, hear me out. Here, this is great. This is great. I just want to be King of Mountain one last time. All right,
He's like, I want one more title run. I really feel like Jeff Jarrett did not tell Tony. He did not tell Tony he was going to cut that promo. He did not tell him what he was going to say. And he just went to it. He's like, I want one more run at the AEW World Champ. And Tony was like, what the He's like, he takes off the headphones. He's like, what the fuck is he talking about?
His line was, this next match is for the world championship. Where did he get him? Where did he get in his head that was a good idea? I like Jeff Jarrett. I know people that fought for that story too when it came out. Like, hey man, it's Jeff Jarrett. I'm like, you didn't live. You must not have lived through TNA's 2004-5 days where that siren would come on the screen and make your heart drop. Damn it, Jeff Jarrett's here to fuck up some other shit. It's hard to get over that kind of PTSD, man.
I mean, yeah, because I mean with Jeff Jarrett, and even I've said it, like I've gotten to appreciate him more because of certain factors, because of certain things. But when it came to like him being in the title picture, I'm like, yeah, this is not what I asked for. I was like, I appreciate him. I'm like, this is not what I want. Can we please just like move on from this? And the fact they just like completely just stopped it, I thought that was just hilarious. I was like, oh, thank God. I think we didn't notice it.
Like, damn.
Yo, I think we didn't even notice that like 2 weeks in. We were just like, wow, they just completely just dropped the storyline. That's great. Let's just not speak about it again.
It was that promo. I think the real turning point was that promo where Jeff Jarrett, the babyface, said, well, your wife's a whore, your mother's a whore. Like he called them call girls. He called his wife and his mother call girls. I was like, you're the babyface. Like, it's okay for MJF to say that. He's the heel. That's the point, Jeff. You can't play the same games as him. I know I was a heel too, so I'm just playing fire with fire. No, it doesn't work like that. You're the babyface.
It was we're past that though. Thankfully, Tony got his. It's such a crazy pivot too. He was like, "What if I do the biggest match possible right now, right this instant? Will you forgive me?" Yeah, it ended up okay. Happy 2025 midway through. AEW's 2025 has been incredible. If they can finish this year off with the same momentum, shit, we're gonna be having a different conversation in December about about AEW and what their position in wrestling.
I've been saying for a few months here, the key to all of this is what happens after All Out. I think that we'll be good through All Out, but the key for the last couple of years, and 2022, he had the reason. It was Brawl Out, everything kind of, the storylines fell apart, and he couldn't kind of rebound from there. 2023, Punk gets fired. 2024, there was no excuse. It was pretty much that Tony has a lot of things on his plate. He has the Jacksonville Jaguars in the NFL. The NFL season is just starting in the fall, and that's why he always falls off around that time. So I'm hoping that he's so in the weeds that he's just like, hey, I'll delegate this stuff for the Jaguars off. I need to focus on finishing the year strong.
I wonder if that's possible. Like, can he actually leave? Can you actually delegate that kind of work? Is there someone that it can be delegated to? I don't know how it works in a family business, because I would imagine by now it's been 6 years. I'm surprised he hasn't put it all into AEW already. Why haven't we abandoned this football thing? What the fuck are you doing over there, math, brother? What, like, they need you that bad? They don't have a calculator? Like, come on, get over here, focus.
But no, like, Valab, this is not a good reasoning for him falling off on the storyline. He said 2024 it was renewal negotiation. He should have been better. Not get the same point of the year. He got worse with the stories and the connectivity and everything. That should have helped him be better. Contract renewals. No, your top star getting fired, that's an excuse. Your top star getting in a fight with some of your other top stars, that's an excuse. Contract renewals is an excuse to be better, not to get worse.
I think he means NFL.
Oh, NFL
Yeah, like
contract
they were
renewals
doing.
were
I
going up?
remember people. Well, I guess they always have, right? Then it's like once a year.
Yeah. And I was like, that's still not as.
I always just thought the dude's too busy. Like I said it when he first started the company. I was like, doesn't he have like 6 jobs? How the fuck is he gonna make this work? I imagine he just doesn't sleep, which is not good for the heart, by the way.
Yeah, no, but also I think the Jaguars themselves, I think during the offseason, they actually made some revamps within their front office, so it might work out for them. Who knows? Like it might have a situation where Tony maybe does less, but I do know that he does have like 2 or 3 important jobs within the Jaguars organization that there are times that he's needed there. But we'll see what happens in regards to that. I mean, that period is going to be interesting because that's something that he does have to fact, like he has to maneuver. And then they also do like those London games. I think he usually does go for those as well. So I mean, we'll see how he balances that out.
We shall see, but it seems like the consensus vote is Hangman was better. Josh and John say Hangman. Krssi says Cody. I'm gonna split the difference.
I didn't say Cody.
Well, you said Cody for the kids. For the kids.
Cody for the kids, and then for me, it's the adults is a Hangman.
All right, so it's unanimous. I'm going with Hangman too. Fuck it. I was gonna split the vote and say Cody, but fuck it. Yeah, you're right. It is Hangman.
Yeah, no, it's the difference of the for us as adults, we more resonate. Like he goes to the highs and lows. Is like you're not always gonna win. You have to go through life and shit throws you curveballs.
Yeah. So. Yeah, because I think also realistically when it comes to the Cody thing, right? Mm-hmm. Outside of like the storyline that they did leading up to that, there is a redemption kind of thing for Cody as well when he left for those 6 years. Those were like the most important 6 years of his career because that basically not only got him back to WWE, but it's made him one of the top stars in the company to the point that it's like, oh shit, we can't even turn this guy heel. Because I think his heel stuff is great, but because he's so popular, they just can't do it at the moment. So it's one of those things where there is a form of Cody, a redemption, but that's more like real, like it's more of like real life kind of situation where he left the company, quit, then then end up coming back because of what he did within those 6 years.
Sure.
Ultimately, like you said, for the adults, for the kids, that Cody moment was a big ass. We said it, Endgame, Star Wars. Like this Hangman was like everything, everywhere, all at once. Like, this is A24. This is like that was the greatest shit I've ever seen. It's never gonna get that kind of credit because of where it came from. But not only was it better than Cody, it was probably better than a lot of your favorite storylines. You don't want to go there.
Well, we got people who got some opinions in the chat. We got Transferring Heat, who thinks Cody's will be remembered longer. We got our boy Meet Normus, who says, "Sup partners, Hangman finishing his story was better because he didn't get it on the first try and is a better character / wrestler." That's good. We also got Power Drive Finisher who agrees. True, Cody will be remembered by more people, but that doesn't make it a better story than Hangman's story, which is also.
But there's also, I think it's a bigger microscope. So I mean, that's kind of one of those things where it's like when you try to use the money argument, of course they're gonna make more money. It's like that, but that doesn't make it better. You know what I mean? Like, it's be remembered maybe by more people because again, it's a bigger stage, and I think us here, we understand that because it's WWE. So kind of just like, that doesn't make it better. People remember, but that doesn't make it necessarily better.
Agreed. And our producer even says he thinks that this Hangman story was better than his first title win, which is one of the best stories that they had told in like their first couple of years. Like their first couple of years build up to the Hangman winning the title against Kenny Omega at Full Gear 2021. And I was there live for that too.
It's crazy that they were able to get there twice with the same guy. Like that kind of cathartic moment with the same character. But it doesn't happen without the arc. Look at how storytelling can enhance pro wrestling like this. Look at how calculated storytelling works. I'm always, one of these days I'm gonna figure out. Hopefully they get asked in an interview. Hopefully I'll ask them myself. I really want to know what goes into stories like Hangman Page, MJF, Orange Cassidy that makes them different from everybody else on the roster. Like, whose ideas are these? Are these yours? Are these your like? Does this come from Hangman himself? Like, what? There's such a stark difference in the way that story is booked compared to like anything else on the card. Where I'm like, can we spread some of that love, or is it coming from Hangman? If it's coming from Hangman, then I guess I understand why. Like, you know. But it's hard.
These people have their fingerprints on it. You could tell it's either the character in the character work or how the story progresses.